Top Gun by Tony Scott in 1986 versus Top Gun Maverick by Joseph Kosinski in 2022. Which final act was better? We head into Act 3 of both films, where we start with the mission briefing. Tony's Top Gun makes the pilots feel so tangible here, you can almost smell the heat off the aircraft carrier. It takes just 10 seconds for the commander to give the brand new mission details to the pilots. It's very matter of fact, very efficient, very military. The next 20 seconds are given to revealing the stakes and then raising them even higher.
If you witness a hostile act, you will return fire.
In Kosinski's Maverick, on the other hand, our mission briefing starts with a full 27-second monologue giving us the results of the Top Gun training that we just witnessed. Kosinski can get away with this because, well, he revealed the mission at the very start of the film. Therefore, we already know the stakes and, well, what all this training was for. Kosinski's Maverick now takes the next full minute to regale the mission in detail, much like the commander in Tony's Top Gun. What Tony's Top Gun achieved in just 30 seconds, however, Maverick stretches out to 1.5 minutes. 1-0 to Tony's Top Gun for efficient storytelling, but there's so much more to explore. Next, Kosinski's Maverick takes the next 4 minutes and 10 seconds with the pilots as they don their helmets, say their goodbyes, and we get to witness their emotions just before the mission. Tony's Top Gun, on the other hand, just allows 1 minute of screen time for the pilots to get their aircraft, and much of that time is spent looking at the aircraft being prepared by the crews, not really on the characters themselves. Unfortunately, before I even get to the main fight, I think we're gonna have to give a point to Kosinski's Maverick. Kosinski taking time to explore the emotional states of the pilots before the mission, even if it does take 4 minutes of screen time, adds so much emotional weight to the mission. The final battle can only be as good as its setup, and Kosinski's Maverick trumps Tony's Top Gun. 1-1. Next is the all-important Takeoff. Tony's Top Gun bathes us in an orange glow, accompanied by a power ballad as the professional crews prep the jets. The engines roar into life and the jets take off. All very impressive, very military. Kosinski's Maverick, on the other hand, deals with the takeoff as a cinematic opportunity.
Dagger 1, up and ready on catapult 1.
Dagger spare, standing by.
The music drops out just before the order is given, highlighting the importance of this one action. And we're then immediately washed by the sound of jets as they roar into life. Kosinski holds inside the aircraft with Maverick. This directorial choice immerses us in Maverick's world, as we know this is actually happening. To reinforce this, Joseph Kosinski drops the music away, leaving just diegetic sound. This invites us into Maverick's experience of this moment, drawing us closer to his character. I'm gonna have to give this to Kosinski's Maverick here. 1-2. Next, something that blew my mind, but not in a good way. In Tony's Top Gun, the jets have just taken off from the carrier in this direction, left to right. The very next shot, they're now traveling in this direction. This is unnecessarily confusing, as we've just jumped over the 180-degree line without any motivation for it. My wife commented how she struggled to follow Tony's Top Gun's final battle sequence, and I believe this was the root cause. Tony Scott, rest in peace. I would love to know why. Why? I don't mind directors breaking rules. By jumping the 180-degree line, you can infuse your audience with powerful emotions. Take Batman: The Dark Knight. The camera crosses the line during Batman's interrogation with the Joker. This helps us understand the power struggle between the pair as we feel the tide of power changing sides. Unfortunately, I can't find any dramatic reason for Tony's Top Gun to do this in this moment. However, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below.
Radar warning! Smoke in the air, Phoenix, break right!
Emergency jettison! Dagger 3 defending!
Here comes another one!
Kosinski only breaks the line when the story warrants it. This is a measured use of the technique to enhance the story rather than frustrate the audience. 1-3. Come on, Tony. The next stage of the final act is small but a very important detail. In Kosinski's Maverick, after a short round of communication, Joseph keeps us inside the experiences of the pilots, showing us the moments between communication. Mr. Hitchcock may have had a problem with this, as he famously stated,
"Drama is life, with the dull bits cut out."
However, I would argue Joseph Kosinski made what on paper might seem like it was a boring moment totally engaging. In a sequence where your actors have masks covering their faces, you have to pull out all the tricks to help reveal their emotional states, exploring their experience to keep the audience empathically tied to their journeys. In Tony's Top Gun, however, we're given probably a more accurate experience of the moments before a mission, with constant communication between the pilots and the mission control. The longest gap in dialogue being just 5 seconds in Tony's Top Gun compared to a mammoth 20 seconds in Kosinski's Maverick. This space in Maverick, alongside the brooding, tense music, feeds into a fantastically tense experience for the audience. Oh dear. 1-4 to Kosinski. Next, both movies veer from each other in quite considerable ways, so I'll do my very best to keep this a fair fight. In Tony's Top Gun, he gets Maverick into the fight and immediately he loses control after hitting another aircraft's jet wash. This is smart, as he puts Maverick not just in a physical challenge, but also shows his turmoil as he is in an emotional spin. Tony uses lots of other cinematic devices here to put the audience in the same boat as Maverick, with spinning POV shots, alarm sounds, the camera shakes, and we rapidly cut in and out of the aircraft. We can feel Maverick's tension and panic. Even though Maverick gets the aircraft under control, we can still see, as Tony cuts straight back to Maverick, that he isn't out of the spin himself. His breathing is heavy and panicked.
Good recovery, Mal.
Tony has Maverick choose to escape the fray, leaving the other pilot on his own against many other enemy craft. This is great filmmaking, as it keeps Maverick from feeling powerless. If Maverick had just frozen, this scene really would have played less dramatically. We then get 3 quick reactions to Maverick's choice, helping the audience understand how Maverick's choice affects the mission.
God damn it, Maverick!
We now get the co-pilot shouting at him repeatedly to get back in the fight. Tony dims this voice into the background as Maverick's focus instead is on his internal monologue, and he speaks to his dead friend for advice.
Talk to me, Goose.
In there, for Christ's sake! Ice is in trouble!
Talk to me, Goose.
In there, Maverick! You won't laugh.
Kosinski's Maverick, on the other hand, has laid the groundwork for Rooster's character's issues from the very start of the film. Now, Rooster's character change plays out during the canyon run. You know what I mean. Rooster starts to fall behind as he is now faced with having to fly more dangerously than he wants to. His character flaw is presenting itself as he cannot seem to take the risk that's required to keep up with Maverick, and just like Tony's Top Gun, we see the various reactions to this decision of Rooster to stay slow.
Come on, Rooster! Bandits inbound! We gotta make up time now! Let's turn and burn!
These reactions alliterate why Rooster's decision to hesitate is terrible news. Just like Tony's Top Gun, we're terrified if Rooster is actually ready for the mission or not. Again, just like in Tony's Top Gun, we see Rooster asking his deceased father Goose to tell him what to do.
Talk to me, Dad.
And then we immediately cut to Maverick and his pseudo-fatherly advice.
Come on, kid, you can do it. Don't think. Just do it.
Kosinski uses short-sighting and locked-off shots, which allows the audience to truly see what Rooster is going through without lots of dizzy shaking and editing. I do find Kosinski's directing here of this character change more effective at giving me a greater sense of Rooster's dilemma and eventual revelation. Boom! 1-5! Kosinski didn't just improve on everything Tony Scott had built in the original Top Gun, he designed a deeper, bolder Maverick, which you can dive into with me here.